Think Again, Pot 47. Bad Blood on the Diamond. Diminishing Prejudice by Destabilizing Stereotypes. I've got a quotation for you by Doris Kearns Goodwin. It says, I hated the Yankees with all my heart, even to the point of having to confess in my first holy confession that I wished harm to others. Namely, that I wished various New York Yankees would break arms, legs, and ankles. By Doris Kearns Goodwin. Welcome to chapter number 6 of Think Again, Bad Blood on the Diamond. Here I go. One afternoon in Maryland, 1983, Daryl Davis arrived at a lounge to play the piano at a country music gig. It wasn't his first time being the only black man in the room. Before the night was out, it would be his first time having conversation with a white supremacist. After the show, an older white man in the audience walked up to Darrell and told him that he was astonished to see a black musician play like Jerry Lee Lewis. He was astonished to see a black musician play like Jerry Lee Lewis. Darrell replied that he and Lewis were in fact friends and that Lewis himself had acknowledged that his style was influenced by black musicians. Although the man was skeptical, he invited Darrell to sit down for a drink. Soon the man was admitting that he had never had a drink with a black person before. Eventually he explained to Darrell why he was a member of the Ku Klux Klan, the white supremacist hate group that had been murdering African Americans for over a century and had lynched a man just 2 years earlier. If you found yourself sitting down with someone who hated you and all people who share your skin color, your instinctive options might be fight, fight, or freeze. And rightfully so, Daryl had a different reaction. He burst out laughing when the man pulled his KK membership card to show he wasn't joking. Daryl returned to a question that he had been on his mind since he was 10 years old. In the late 1960s, he was marching in a Cub Scout parade when white spectators started throwing cans, rocks, and bottles at him. It was the first time he remembers facing overt racism, and although he could be justifiably have gotten angry, he was bewildered. He was bewildered. How can you hate me when you don't even know me? At the end of the conversation, the Klansman handed Darrell his phone number and asked if he would call him whenever he was playing locally. Darrell followed up, and the next month, the man showed up with a bunch of his friends to see Darrell perform. Over time, a friendship grew. The man ended up leaving the KKK, and that was a turning point in Darrell's life too. It wasn't long before Darrell was sitting down with imperial wizards and grand dragons, the clan's highest officers, to ask his questions. Since then, Darrell has convinced many white supremacists to leave KKK and abandon their hatred. I wanted to understand how that kind of change happens, how to break overconfidence cycles that are steeped in stereotype and prejudices about entire group of people. The stereotypes and prejudice about the entire group of people. Strangely enough, my journey started at a baseball game. People hate others, hate them at the ball game.